Hi, I just wanted to uh make a quick note on here for my YouTube channel in case any clients ever come across this video. I'm making videos on my YouTube channel somewhat for my career, but in the category of what this is in the playlist, business coach and consulting, I put other videos too on different kinds of people topics, that include my experiences with people and myself and about psychological issues or topics. But I wanted to make the note on here, make it clear, and on my website also when I get that going, a new one. I do not practice psychology in my career. I talk about it on my YouTube channel. That's it. So if there's, I'm like I said, I'm putting that on my website once I make a new one, my own from code. I'm doing my own coding and everything. So I'm putting that in the terms and conditions and the policy and all that stuff, in case anyone, brings it up, because I don't have a license to practice psychology, so obviously I'm not going to, because that's not allowed, obviously. So I just wanted to make that clear for anyone if they ever bring up the subject. And uh, for one thing, I wanted to protect myself, first of all. Mostly, first of all, me, because it's my career. Because I've heard of people getting in trouble for saying certain psychological words and going to court then. And I'm not interested in all that crap, so that's why I wanted to make this little video just to let you know, because I'm not interested in any crap, from anyone about this subject, because I'm not stupid, so there's going to be no, practicing any other kinds of subjects, in my career that you need an actual license for that I don't have. So anyway, just to let you know. So that's basically all for this video. But like I said, I'll be putting this information on my website then, um, to make it absolutely clear, because I don't, I really, really want to stay away from that crap. It just crossed my mind, that I put psychological words on my YouTube channel, and, hearing that about other people getting themselves into trouble. I'm not doing that. So anyway, just to let you know, in case you ever bring it up to me, I'm not interested in that crap. So, make sure you carefully and take a look at my YouTube channel, this video, obviously, and because, like I said, I really, really care about me, first of all, and my career, because it's, my character that I need to be caring about. So anyway, I'm saying this because there's a bunch of topics that I do for clients, about being a person, um, how to relate to people, and advice, on how to get to the roots of things and relate to people properly and how to communicate properly. But that's not psychology. I'm not doing any psychological things about, anything. So I will take note of what I noticed in clients, any new clients or anyone, existing ones, or, whatever. But I don't give psychological, terms to clients. So anyway, I just, that that just really freaks me out that people get themselves in trouble like that. And I just want to make it clear that I'm not, interested in doing that crap. So, anyway, that's all. But, yeah, that's why I'm making this video, because I'm sticking to the logical rules of, what to put in my career and not to put in it. So, anyway, but if you watch this video, leave comments and questions, and thanks for watching. So, I'll be making, tons more on my career, like advice kinds of videos on here. But on here, I say psychological words that I do not say to clients. So, anyway, if it ever needs be, I will make sure that there's records of what I say and don't say. If the subject ever comes up where I need to make my career more secure than it is at the moment, with recording, a conversation, like how some companies do for quality assurance and purposes and all that kind of whatever they say on the phone, or, whatever. Because I just really, want to stay away from that crap. I'm not interested in, back and forth relating like that and getting, you know, sidetracked from my career and, whatever. So anyway, I'll just stop going on about it because I know you get the point. So anyway, but business coaching and consulting is in each other's career. So that's what I'm going to be putting on my YouTube channel. And I won't be putting so much of psychological experiences with, advice or experiences, that I have with people in those videos. But I do otherwise, just for, you know, that actual topic of psychology, just whatever. So I'll try to make that clear, because I'm kind of, combining this playlist, several things in one playlist, because I didn't want to make a new playlist just for business coaching. So anyway, but yeah, there's, like different people that do business coaching, um, I obviously research other people, and whatever. So they say, their clients say, I didn't want a psychologist, but I wanted someone to talk to in his life. So that's what the business coaching is about. It's not diagnosing you or, giving you therapies or, I've created my own thing on how to relate to people. I haven't looked at any psychological information out there to create this or anybody else's anything they've created. I simply study people and created this on my own, so I'll put that in there too. So my career is not on diagnosing anyone or, anything. It's just consulting. So anyway, but I will try to make that clear in my videos that this is business coaching and consulting wrapped up into one, because you do a little bit of each in those two careers when you do the main one, either one. It's kind of a little bit difficult to do, one or the other separately from each other. There's always a little bit in each one, main one. So I just thought I'd do both two big main careers in one. But yeah, just people relating, is, and I'll just add in this video, this is besides the main topic. So I, different things I just thought of, not make a separate video because whatever. I don't want to make a gazillion videos on one little topic and it be 2 minutes, I hate doing that. So, first of all, this is all wrapped up in one kind of thing, different parts of this about me and my clients. And I'm putting this on my website and so forth, If you want to be friends with me, then do not be my client. I like having friends, making new friends, but I will not mix the two. I think there are professions out there where you can do that and it's all right to. And especially, I think it needs honesty, not going back and forth and saying, okay, leave me alone now, we're not friends, or, okay, we're friends now, or, I think it needs a lot of honesty when you do have a career that is all right to be friends with someone. I mean, there's plenty of careers where you can be friends with who your clients are, or whoever it is, whatever you call the person, that is, interacting with you in a sales kind of, or, buying from you kind of a way, or, whatever, getting services from you kind of a way. But for this job, I won't do it. I absolutely will not. I mean, once I get all my ideas for my career going and, a little bit of this and that and, whatever else I'm interested in doing, my violinist part of my career, I can obviously be friends with another violinist if they want to work with me, or if you come to see me, I'm hoping to really get a business going with a dinner theater and me play there, I wanted to own my own space, so I can obviously be friends with someone that comes to see me play there or something, but for this kind of career, I won't do it. So don't even bring it up to me, for real. And this is why I like being a professional astrologer, because I look at your astrology natal chart and synastry and composite chart. Synastry is the two people as each individual relating to each other, how they interact on a day-to-day basis. Like, if you don't know about astrology, it's, there's tons of information you can know. For instance, Mercury is communicating, thinking, your humor, sense of humor, your it's logic, for each person, the zodiac sign that it's in. Mine's Capricorn. It's writing, speaking, typing, any kind of communicating, this is communicating, any kind at all. Your way of learning and teaching and, all of that kind of stuff is Mercury. Mine's Capricorn in the 6th house, which is another earth sign house. It's Virgo. So Capricorn is blunt. They get to the point. They can be insensitive. If you have an easy aspect with me about my Mercury, one of your planets, Sun, Moon, Mercury, whatever, other ones, Sun and Moon is considered planets in astrology. So anyway, if it's in an easy aspect, my Mercury, my communicating style is not going to bug you. If it's in a difficult aspect, depending on the aspect, it can all the time or some of the time, and vice versa. It's not just a one-way street. It's both ways. You bug me, I bug you, So that's something to deal with in my career. So I let clients know that. All those types of things. I want to look at my synastry and composite chart with you, and the business coaching part of it too, and the business consulting part of it too, is all wrapped up in one. So it's kind of like 3 jobs in one, but I'm just combining the whole thing. I'm calling it 2 jobs in one, the coaching and the consulting. Consulting has nothing to do with the coaching part of it. Other than that, coaching is a little bit in it. You can't quite keep your mouth shut about how you see people interacting with each other or whatever when you're doing the consulting. So I wanted to do all of it. I wanted to make it clear that I'm doing all of it in one, because I don't want clients to say, no, I don't want that advice from you, because I'm going to give advice that I see, If I see you, if there's, a subject where, okay, let's just stop there. Let me finish my thought in the astrology. So I want to look at my Sinistry composite chart with clients and explain that. And I look at your Sinistry composite charts with who you work with, if you want me to do that about, your personal life, if that's what I'm coaching you about, and I will try to not piss you off too much with my Mercury if I know there's a square aspect with it, which is tension or, whatever. I will take into consideration your feelings and all that stuff. But the thing is, part of coaching is me telling you, you do not tell me how to be, I do not tell you how to be. That's a part of it. You do not tell anyone else that you work with how to be. You do not tell personal life people how to be. You let them be themselves the way they are. You accept them. You give them unconditional love. You don't tell them, change for me. You don't tell them, hide that part of your personality for me. You let them be their whole self in front of you. You do not tell me to change my Mercury, and I do not tell you to change your Mercury. I do not do that in my job. I will not. You will not catch me doing that. I know better, because this is what I do for my career. I help people, I coach people on relating to each other properly so you can get along properly and let each other be a whole person. That is one of the main parts of the coaching part of it, to be your whole self in front of everyone, be your authentic whole self in front of everyone, and feel like you can just be a person in front of everyone. Your sun, moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, all that stuff, Jupiter, that's beliefs, and, the whole thing, everything about you. That doesn't mean when it comes to some thing that you're doing that is mean that I'm gonna say that's nice or good or that you shouldn't do it. Saying don't be and that you shouldn't is two different things. I will absolutely say that you shouldn't be mean to people, which means you don't let them be their whole self or, whatever. I will point out, if you are saying, you're trying to be the boss of someone else and, you call them this name, that name, and the other name, and, you're yelling at them, that is what I coach people on. To not make people feel unaccepted by you. So I will absolutely call my clients out on things, existing or new ones, or potential ones, or anyone. I do not favor anyone in my career. So that's why I keep this professional. We are not friends. So if you want to be friends with me, I'm open to being friends with people, making new friends, but not my clients. I will not do it. You do not tell me that we're going to cross a line here and do this and that and the other thing, and then me be professional to you and call you out on something, because then that's going to confuse things and piss you off, and I'm not having that. I run my career, and it needs to be that we're not friends. I'm going to repeat myself throughout my videos. I love being friends with people. I absolutely love it. But I will not be friends with clients. I will use my Mercury, my communicating style, which is blunt and unemotional, And I will say, okay, stop now. If you're having an attitude, I will stop you and say, let's get to the root of this, figure out what's going on, and figure out how to relate to whoever you're trying to relate to properly. I will not put up with, you stopping me from doing my job with your whatever kind of what's going on with you at the moment. Excuse me. This is what I do for my career. That is what I help people with. That is the main point of my career. So I will not put up with crap. I will call out clients on things, and I will not do it in an asshole, unprofessional kind of way. I will do it in a proper way. But the thing is, if you tell me I'm being blunt, which I already know, don't call it unprofessional, because that is what I do. I will call you out on that. I am being 1000% honest with you. I will do my very best job at being extremely honest and professional with all of my clients all the time, existing ones, new ones, anyone. I will not favor anyone and give people, special attention and, cross the line of, getting things confused and all that stuff and, all sorts of things. That is part of my career, to coach you on how to be a person, so there's so many things to tell you about, about my job, because that is what it is, so that's why I'm going to make this series on this subject, because I want it to be, clear to what I do. And the consulting part of it, like I said, has a little bit of the coaching in it. The coaching has a little bit of consulting in it, but I wanted to do a full career on both things. So I'm just combining it, and I will do the actual business consulting part of it too, with professionalism. I will not, do more professional stuff in either one, It's going to be both. And I will obviously, like be my Mercury sign, in both, you know. But that's why I want to do the coaching and the consulting, tell people about all this stuff I'm telling you about in the astrology part of it, I do that in the consulting, the astrology, synastry, and the composite charts for the consulting, because so many people don't know about astrology and don't know why we're not getting along and so forth, By the way, composite charts are the two people as one. It's like, combined, experiencing the same things in the composite chart, the aspects that are happening. So if you're saying, I hate him and he hates me, or he doesn't, or no, if the one person's saying, I hate him or he hates me, and it's not the other way around, I don't hate him, like if I'm working with someone named, Alex or whoever, I say Alex hates me, but I don't hate him, and it's in our composite chart, I'm lying, because it's the two people as one. That's why I like to do composite charts in my whole career, not just the coaching part of it. Because that way, if I try to professionally call out clients on these things, we can get to the point of the whole thing and stop the crap. And, you can have someone to be accountable to. And, so you can do your job properly. Or if you have a boss, or if the boss is that way, whatever, let's say, for example, the worker, the employee, is giving the other employee crap about the what they don't know about maybe the composite chart, hate aspect, and the other one's admitting it. I can tell the boss if I need to, my input on the situation, and we can get to the actual root of the situation, not stay up here arguing and blaming and all that stuff. That's why I do that. It's the composite chart is the fate of the two people. The synastry chart is not. It's just the everyday kinds of relating. So that's why I'm doing the astrology for my clients in the consulting and the coaching. I really like, owning my own business, being the boss of me and my hours and all that stuff. And I like to, you know, I'm very, like, get to the point, get to the root of kind of a person. I love, helping people. So that's why I'm in this career. So, and like I said, I'm very honest with my clients. So, trust me, I'm going to do a good job for any new clients or existing ones or whoever. I take my job seriously and professionally. So, but anyway, that's that. Um, but yeah, that's a little bit of the business coaching part of it. The business consulting part of it. I'll make other videos about, but I just wanted to talk about the original thing. The coaching, you can see obviously that doesn't have psychology in it. I'm not doing the psychology thing in that. It's just basic relating to each other kind of thing. But the actual business consulting, that actually has to do with your real business. And my career is for your personal life or your business. It's for the whole thing, your whole life, if you want it to be about that. And that's why I want to keep it professional and not a friend kind of a thing. So we're not crossing boundaries and getting confused and saying you make sure you don't tell our friend so and so about whatever, because I'm not doing that. I'm not getting in the middle of all that stuff and having things be unprofessional with me and whoever. So my clients are not my friends. I will be friendly to you or nice or whatever, and expect you to be to me as much as you can be, but not friends, not personal. I'm not doing that in my career, my business coaching part of it, astrology or consulting or anything. Because I just really need to keep it professional and not confusing and, all that good stuff. So anyway, but yeah, I don't think there's any much more to add to this video, but I'll be making tons of videos on what I do for clients, on all three bits of this, combined, and the consulting strategy part of it. But just real quick, I'm just gonna add, this is not the most extremely important thing to make a new video about, because it's not going to be that long of a topic to talk about. But I just wanted to tell you about pricing. What I base my pricing on is I've researched it before, and what works best for me and my personality and all that good stuff, which is the coaching part of it. I need to really get to know clients really well and see what all is going on with you as a whole person, the different parts of it, and see, if it's your career, if it's pricing questions or, all that stuff, any part of your career that you want advice on. That's everything is what I help clients with. So each person's in, different in their own way. Like, you can have something in common with the next client. Not that you're gonna know it, but I do. So, but for the different parts of your career, if that's what I'm helping you with, you know, you might want to do your pricing your career a different way than the next client. So it depends on your career and your personality and all that stuff. And I don't think one size fits all, and that's what I'm doing my career about. I think people that aren't in this career in astrology and all that good stuff, they don't get that one size doesn't fit all. It just really doesn't at all. There's no special formula for running a business, one size fits all thing, for all of the parts of the career for each company or individual. I really think people hurt themselves more that way because of all the knowledge I give clients, the astrology and the coaching part of it and everything else. So that's why I'm in this career, because I love helping people and figuring out each individual or company, like what works best for each part of it. And there's so many things to my career for clients. It's not just two or three parts of it, because the astrology and so forth for each person, or the problem I'm helping clients solve, in the consulting or whatever, it's so individual for each client or each group of people I'm working with. It's not a one size fits all for each party or whatever, because people aren't that way. We all have our own makeup of what makes us a whole person. And I see enough videos on YouTube about consulting and so forth, any kind of career, that kind of like it's a little bit of going down the path of saying one size fits all a little bit, and it's not. I don't think it's healthy to do that. And for the pricing though, I do $50 an hour. I charge for half of a day or a whole day, 5 or 10 hours. That's it. I cannot negotiate with clients on that. It's not possible. So, I will kindly let you know that on my website to not even bother bringing that up, because I don't negotiate how I run my business with my clients, because I do it for what fits me the best, because that is what the coaching part of it is about, to help you get to know you and what suits your whole life the best, not letting someone else run your whole life for you and you being uncomfortable. That's not what my coaching's about. It's about getting to know the client and helping them get to know themselves and figure out what works best for themselves first of all. If there's other individuals with the client doing this and that and the other thing, whatever, in the business or the personal life, me helping them is, part of it if they're my client, and that's up to them. You don't run their life, they don't run your life. So, like I said, I do an hour meeting, first of all, of the 5 first hours, and then the other 4 hours are my homework kinds of stuff that I do for clients. And then if it's a 10-hour thing, we could have more meetings or whatever. But the first initial getting to know the client, that's how I run it. And then we can talk later on about, how many meetings to have. I base on an hour, and you always pay for a 5 or 10 hour day from me. I don't charge any other way, I don't ever change the way I charge for my career or my, the pay. I'm not going to change that. That it stays that way. It always. I'm not going to do anything different about it. And part of it is because I've researched, you know, other stuff on YouTube about it and the different pricing videos out there, They say, no, I want my clients to be winning something for the pricing, and I don't agree with doing it that way because I don't want to always be selling my clients something. I want to just be straightforward with clients and say, this is what it is. And that's how it's going to be. I don't like charging a percent of what the project cost that I'm helping clients with and saying now you're winning and all that good stuff. And I don't like being a salesman for my career so much about the pricing. I just like to be a straightforward, this is what it is and that's how it's going to stay kind of a person. That's what works best for me. And like I said, one size does not fit all. It just doesn't. There, that's not even logical, really. And another part of it is like the branding or the marketing or the whatever. I like to get to know clients and what works best for them. Like I said, I do take note in my mind of psychological things that are happening with clients and how to interact with each. I do not practice psychology in my career. The psychological part of it is in my mind. I take notes in my mind. That's it. If I have my personal notes on a paper about words, I do not share them with anyone, clients, or give terms to any clients about anything. But I study psychology on my own, not in a university. I do this so I can, you know, figure out the best way to communicate with the client psychologically and astrologically and all that good stuff. Just so I'm not putting that one size fits all on each client because it just really doesn't. So I take mental notes or whatever, but I'm not sharing any psychological terms or therapies with clients. I'm just doing the business coaching and the astrology part of it. The coaching, the psychology would be in the coaching, but I'm not doing that. It's just my notes, my personal notes for me on how to interact with the client. Because it's so extremely important to know all of a person instead of just half of them. So, I'm not going to be putting words into your mouth and asking you psychological questions or anything or none of that stuff. Just taking note of what I notice psychologically and just from my mind. Because I think there's too many videos on YouTube that it's like a one size fits all kind of a thing. And I don't think that's fair to clients because that adds way too much stress and it doesn't help, the client feel comfortable with whatever goals we're trying to achieve for whatever subject we're talking about, career or personal life or whatever. There's no way that a one size fits all thing can be true for everyone because we're all different kinds of in our own ways, even if we're all same thing, a person. And, can only have so many kinds of people things about us. You're gonna have something in common with someone or another. So, anyway. But, so, for me, what works best is what I said, $50 an hour. 1 hour meeting, first of all. Then I do 4 hours of homework kind of stuff. And then after that, that's for each new client. Then after that, I always charge for half of the day, 5 hour, or whole day, 10 hour, you know, for each day from a client, for any clients. I do not change this for anyone. And so that's what works best for me. And I will have a different way of, charging clients. When I actually get my website, then I'll just do something on there for payments instead of, on my phone or whatever. So, yeah, when I get my website, I'll have all this information on there. And I just really want clients to get that, one size doesn't fit all, and you let the other person be them, and, like, person yourself, person B, that's person A, be themself. You don't tell the other person how to be. And like I said, I'm gonna say you shouldn't do this or that because of, and then we can get to the root of the subject and whatever. But I will not tell clients that they're not allowed to do what they're doing. I will say, this is why you should or shouldn't do this, or, whenever you're staying on the surface level of how to communicate properly or whatever, I'm going to tell you what you should or shouldn't do, like the root of it, what actually works. Like you shouldn't tell the other person not to be a whole person. That's what I mean. I'm not going to tell you that you're not allowed to be the way you are. It's business coaching, so that's what I do. I accept my clients doing what they're doing and want to work with them on it. And for another thing, if you get off topic as the client, and the topic is, whatever thing we're talking about, and you're doing your own kinds of, like, whatever, I don't know, verbal abuse or something, I don't get off the topic and say, okay, now stop that, and let's get on topic. I stay on the topic. That is unconditional love, when you don't keep paying attention to what the person is doing, and get after them about it, and make them feel unaccepted. I do accept clients and keep you on topic. I don't pay attention to every little thing you're doing other than what the actual topic is we're talking about. Hope I'm making this clear to you. That's unconditional love. When you're paying attention to what the person is doing and saying, don't breathe that way, that's conditional love. That's when you are not letting the person be their whole self. Whenever you ask me for advice, that's the subject we're talking about, so that's what I'm going to talk about. I'm not going to get off the topic and say, let's change you about everything. So anyway, and this is a very deep subject to talk about. I think there's times when you need to let the person know you personally, you and a friend, or a husband, or whoever personal person is, sister, or whoever it is. I think you need to let the other person know sometimes that you notice them and you care, and that, your two's relating to each other needs to be proper, that you need to be accountable to each other, so you don't just let the other person go off and do their own thing and feel uncared about. But it's, there's a line that you're not supposed to cross about, making the person feel, conditionally loved. So that's what I help clients with, figuring out all of that stuff, and the actual proper way to communicate. And that's why I like to keep things professional, not be friends with clients, because for my career, I'm good at being professional, but in my personal life, of course, I slip up sometimes and don't always, do things perfectly. There's not a person on this planet that's ever going to. It's not perfect. So, for my career, though, like I said, that's why I want to keep it professional, not friends with people, because then, confusing, and then it's not reliable that way. So, anyway, that's why I do that way. But yeah, those are different subjects about, that I wanted to cover in this video, because, that's what I do for my career, and I just wanted to make sure clients know, I have a record of me saying this, in public, all of this, because I think it's important to, let people know that I care about making a public record of this. So, anyway, but yeah, I will stop the video here now because it's gonna get too way too long if I don't. So anyway, yeah, like I said, leave questions, comments if you want, and or get in touch with me other ways. My business email, or whatever. Um, which, by the way, if anyone doesn't know it, doesn't have it, and wants it, it's Aries MC. Aries MC. That's the midheaven. It's meeting coli or something. I don't know quite if that's the way to pronounce it, but that's the midheaven. That's the 10th house. That's the career. Mine's Aries. So anyway, it's Aries MC, all with that underline thing. Not the one in the middle of the words. Just it's, under the words, Just one of those in between. Okay, it's Aries MC, then the line, and Bella at yahoo.com. So that's how clients get in touch with me if, it's not on social media or whatever. And then once I get my website, you can get in contact with me there also. So anyway, yep. So like I said, thanks for watching, and I'll be making tons more videos soon.